Hey there, welcome to our topic today. My name is Lindsay Norman, and today's topic is going to be what happens when you have a problem with your company. And we're not, of course, talking about small problems because we know that every company has its problems, right? We know that there is no perfect company, both in network marketing or outside of network marketing. And so we're really talking about what happens when your company shifts directions, or perhaps there's been some systemic problems that have started to occur over time where you have concerns. So I wanted to start by saying that companies change over time, and so do you. And there are options that you have of like, okay, how do I respond when my company changes or when I change? And I just want to acknowledge again, there is no perfect company and that it's perfectly normal for companies to change and for you to change. There are also times and seasons of life where companies are going to serve you well, and you're going to build and grow in a company for a season of life and it's going to go really well. And then there might be a season shift for you, and that is okay. So that's what I really want to kind of focus in on today is when you're sensing something's misaligned, like it's been, a couple of months now, and I'm really not feeling aligned with my company. Perhaps it's been a couple of years. If you've been really loyal and have tried to stick it out, the big question at this point is, what are your options? What do you look at? So I want to give you three options today. And the first option is the one that I would always recommend first. And that is you stay and you be part of the solution. And so if this is a company where you're like, I have always felt aligned with this company, or I really feel like this is a place I want to be, then you can actually partner with leadership as long as the leadership is open to partnering with them to be part of a solution. So I always recommend that because I think companies are always looking for people who are looking out for the company and really want to partner to be part of the future. And so if you're voicing where like, hey, I want to be part of the change, I want to be part of the solution, how can I do that? I know companies absolutely love that. They want those kind of people there as part of the change. So you want to be an advocate for change. Of course. Now, let's say that you've tried to do that and you're like, I've tried to partner with leadership. There's not an openness there. Or like, I know in my experience, I've actually done this outside of direct sales even. I was with a company for 8 years before being in the direct sales industry. And for 5 years, the first 5 years were really great, really great. And then we started entering into a season where I had a lot more questions about some of the things that the company was doing and some of the people that were making decisions, and it started to feel very misaligned internally. And so it was at that point that I had to start asking, like, what are my options here? What should I be doing? So if you notice, I was there for 5 years and I didn't leave until 8 years in, because I really felt like I wanted to be part of the change. So I wanted to give my company a chance. And I really wanted to be part of that solution. So I do think that that is always your first option. And again, you really want to look at, is my company even open to this? Is leadership desiring to hear from me or allowing me to be part of that solution? Okay, number two, your second option, you can stay silent. And for some people, they need to do this if their family is really dependent on income, or like you feel stuck where you cannot make a change. And so generally what I've seen is people who stay silent change their expectations of what they want from that company. So basically instead of wanting more or really feeling like this is a company I want to invest in, they change their expectations to I'm just going to show up every day and do my work and go home. And so here's what's really kind of disheartening about this option. I see a lot of people do it. In order to have joy in their business, they need to pull way back in how they're invested in the business. And so basically, especially as it relates to network marketing, people who are like, I can't be part of the change, and I don't necessarily want to leave, so I'm just going to stay silent. Generally, what that happens is they end up pulling back on dreams and goals and desires. And so in some ways that hurts my heart a little bit because I see so many people with potential and a desire to grow, but they know they just want to stay silent. They basically change into like, I'm just going to be content in where I'm at. I'm going to stop desiring. I'm going to stop hoping I almost feel like it's putting water on a flame that just desires to burn, right? Essentially, this response leads to disengagement, and really the heart gets lost here. And like I said, this one is near and dear to me because I see a lot of people who take this option, and it can be really disheartening and sad, especially when there's so much potential there. Now, you do have an option number three. And option number three, I would say, is the absolute, can be the scariest, and it can be the most risky. And that is, you do have the option to leave. And so with this, I would say, while it is the scariest and the riskiest, I've actually seen in my experience over the years that people who have decided, I've tried to change from within, partnering with the company, I've tried to stay silent, and really this misalignment is such where I want to continue to grow and I can't do that here. And so that choice to leave, even though it's scary and even though it's risky, I have seen more doors open, and more opportunities that unfold when people choose this scary road of leaving and moving on to something else. So I would say, those are your three options. You can stay and be part of the change. You can be silent, or you can choose to leave or to make a change. Now, what I would really encourage you in all of this is, in all of this, it's very easy to have poor attitudes or to feel frustrated and start venting, potentially to team members or peers or even to the company. And I just really want to encourage you that your attitude in this, whether you're choosing to stay or go or be part of the change, is that your attitude is so pivotal in this. Is it positive? Is it hopeful? Is it working to align with people? Because you can make any of these three decisions, to stay, to go, to be part of change, with great attitude and with hope for the future. So I don't think any blame is necessary in situations like this. And I do think if you end up deciding to make a change at the end, that's actually a normal part of life. People make changes all the time in their jobs. Of course, you need to assess, what does my family need? What is my desire? What works for our future financially as a family? And you're going to want to make decisions accordingly there. But I will just say that no blame is ever necessary. No bad attitudes are ever necessary. And that really change is a part of normal everyday life. So hopefully this gives you some tools as you're maybe walking through some changes with your company to kind of know, what are my options and how can I best process through this? Best of luck to you. And I hope that you align with the most amazing company that's a great fit for you. Have a good day.